your host, Majaro.
What is up, my tribal people? It's your tribal chief, Majaro, aka Image. And you already know what I say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Because we're trying to grow the community. And by sharing this with your friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. Now, let's get into the video. What is up, my tribal people? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And strap in, guys, because this is gonna be a deep one. It's gonna be a surgical one. And today we're going to be discussing the outrage that a fitness influencer named Natalie B Fitness has caused over the past week in regards to female-only gyms and trans-inclusive spaces, and how she doesn't think that they can be in the same spot. So where does it all begin? It begins in 2021, where she decides to tweet that she's hoping, planning, and looking at opportunities to open a female-only gym, away from the gooner eyes of males, sexual harassment, being away from the opposite sex, where they can feel comfortable to wear whatever they want, do whatever exercises they want without having the male gaze on them and fearing for something or unwanted advances and having to deal with people, or mainly men, harassing them in the gym, which is, fair enough. She had a little bit of backlash from males, some males love to complain, saying, women aren't going to go to this gym. Women only go to the gym for male attention. They only want to look good for men, X, Y, and Z, which I totally disagree. Like, come on, bro. People want to stay healthy for themselves. It's not about other people all the time. Sometimes you just want to do things for yourself, and that's okay. And she wanted to open up a female-only gym for herself and people like her, people specifically who have been sexually assaulted, and her story is she was sexually assaulted at the gym. So this was an idea, and she came to the forefront and tweeted out that idea. So when people were interested in thinking, oh, I like this influencer, she's been in the industry for, close to 10 years at this point. She's, collaborated with Gymshark. She's been with partners in this and that, and she's doing her thing. She's big in the UK. She's one of the top 5 fitness influencers, especially female ones. So, a lot of people came out to support. I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm backing you. It'd be nice to have a female-only gym. I'm surprised there's not more X, Y, and Z. A lot of support. But then some more questions, specifically relating to transgendered females. So someone said, are trans women included in your women's only gym? And she came out and said yes. Let's have a look.
Okay, so I just want to address this because when my tweet went viral on Twitter, I got so many questions and so many DMs asking if trans women are welcome at my women's only gym. And you guys are hearing it first. Of course, trans women are welcome at my women's only gym. I don't see trans women as trans women. I see trans women as women. And if you identify as a woman, then you're, of course, welcome. So I don't want to have this question anymore. 100%. Any minority group, plus size women, women of colour, Muslim women, of course you're welcome at my gym. My gym is going to be a community. It's going to be a collective.
Of course.
And it's just going to be a space for women, by women. So 100,000% trans women are welcome at my gym.
So, you heard it there, folks. You heard it there first. Trans women are included in her female-only gym. So, problem solved, right? No, nothing to see here. But this is when it starts to get wicked. 4 years go by. As you can see, she has a GoFundMe page that she raised money. She, I think, did around a quarter of what was needed through GoFundMe. Some of it was her own personal savings. She went around to corporate sponsors and asked for investment, and she was able to get deals and get investment from, I believe, Gymshark, who put 50k into the infrastructure and everything around the gym, and they probably supplied her with some equipment that they had. So when it's come time to start launching, the topic of trans women come up again. And this is where she fucked up. she said no. After many talks with stakeholders or, people who have come to me and say, I can't wait, I've been involved in this, I've been involved in that, and it was unpleasant, I've been assaulted in the gym, X, Y, and Z. I would really love if it was actually strictly biological women at the gym. And a result of that, seems like she's gone back on a decision to include trans women in her female-only gym. And people did not like that. I mean, I hear it. When someone says, I'm going to do something, and then they go back on it, or I'm not going to do something, and then they do what they said they weren't going to do, people are going to be looking at you sideways. Just look at Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was out here talking out the side of his mouth in 2016, saying, oh, which one of you coons are going to be the first one to tap dance for the new president, Donald Trump? Fast forward 8 years, when he gets re-elected for the second term, he's out there DJing for him, and everyone's looking at you sideways. Same thing here. You say, someone asks you, are trans women included? And you said, of course, it's a community, all types of women, plus size women, black women, white women, Asian women. I want a community of women. And then you specifically say, of course, trans women are included. And then for you to backtrack, once you get your funding, once you get the money, once you have everything that you need, it's a bit suspect. To me, it looks like you were virtue signaling. You didn't actually intend to have trans people, because if you did, you would have stood on business, and I don't think anyone would have said anything otherwise. People would have been like, oh, she's including trans women, good for her, good for the business, but it's the fact that you've now issued the statement to retract. Let's have a look at what she said in regards to her retracting her acceptance of trans women.
In 2021, 4 years ago, I made a tweet, and the tweet referenced my women's only gym, the Girls Spot, and being trans inclusive. Now, when I made that tweet in 2021, I had just announced my plans to open a women's only gym. I hadn't thought out the vision or the mission or what it would entail, but all I knew is that I wanted to open a gym. We are now 4 years later, and I have had a great deal of time to figure that out. The Girls Spot Gym exists as a safe space for women because women are facing gym harassment, sexual assault, and sexual violence inside of gyms. And I know that because I'm a victim of it. So the meaning of the Girls Spot Gym is now entirely different. And I say this to say that whilst we are a gym, inside we are focusing on self-defense classes, Muay Thai, boxing classes, as well as workshops and activations around PCOS and training on your menstrual cycle, all of which occur to biological women. Majority of the women who are seeking my women's only gym, the Girls Spot, are coming here because they have faced some level of gym intimidation or sexual violence and assault that has been perpetrated by men. So as the owner of the gym, it is very important to make it clear how my women's only gym will be operating, and it will be operating as a single sex space for biological women. Now, we do believe that everybody deserves a safe space, and there are many gyms that are starting to have mixed cubicles and changing rooms so that individuals can feel safer and more included in these environments. But the Girls Spot Gym as a standalone is a female-only gym because it is imperative that I stick to the vision and the mission and ensure that these women feel safe.
There we go. She said what she wanted to say. She's addressed the situation, and a lot of people aren't happy. Some people wanting refunds. Some people are saying she's a TERF now. A trans exclusionary feminist, someone who's all for women's rights, except trans women. They're not for them. And my feelings on it is, honestly, she can do what she wants. It's her gym. It was her idea. It was her investment. It was her putting the blood, sweat and tears into putting on this. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people who are complaining aren't even trans people. They're just regular women. I say regular women. They're just assigned at birth women. Let's just say that. It's just them. I haven't really had any, seen any trans women coming out and saying, how could she betrayed us, this was supposed to be our safe space and you've removed us from this. This is a betrayal, X, Y, and Z. And people saying she hates trans women and all that stuff. She's against trans women. I personally don't feel that. I don't believe that. The reason she said was because, they're going to be having workshops based around female-only experiences, for example, menstrual cycles, and I'm probably assuming other stuff maybe relating to childcare and child rearing and, going through pregnancies and stuff like that, self-defense. Trans people will definitely be, interested in that because of all the physical assaults that they've go through and are exposed to. But when it comes to menstrual cycles and other stuff specifically unique to females, a sign of birth females, you can understand some of them aren't going to be comfortable having a biological man at birth in the premises when they're going through something like that, because that's not a shared experience between both of them. Like, there's a lot of experiences that trans people go through that are exclusive to them, and if they were trying to deal with that and some example male assigned at birth person comes in and says, hey, what's going on here? You're going through gender dysphoria? Oh, what's that like? Oh, you're taking hormones and puberty blockers? Oh, what's that like? Asking questions and being ignorant and making that whole workshop hard by them being so male, right? They're not going to be encouraged. They're not going to be, happy with someone that's not welcome there, because everyone will be feeling the same thing. And that's how it would be, because, there'll be a lot of women who are in those spaces that are expecting to be only women in that space, and then you see a man walk in who identifies as a woman, and this isn't even about, if they pass or not. Obviously, when people are in changing rooms, they're going to know if this person is male or female at birth. So, a lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to be checking at the gates. You're going to have to bring a birth certificate, X, Y, and Z. No, of course not. Let's not be silly, people. Let's not be stupid. Someone's going to be offended that a trans person is in the building, and they're going to be like, I thought this was only females. Why is there basically, an assigned man at birth in the changing room? I fear that X, Y, and Z, this is triggering for me. There could potentially be a lot of complaints and could potentially make it a toxic environment for everyone. And it could actually destroy the business if things aren't made clear to people. And she's decided that I'm going to make it clear to everyone where everyone stands. And, I'm pretty sure a trans person, could walk in and there will be no problem to them. There won't be anyone harassing them. But it's all about it being a comfortable space for the people that she wants. And she's got every right to do that. Now, where she fucked up is making a video saying it was inclusive to all types of women. That's where she effed up. And for the people asking for refunds because they donated based on that, she should give them a refund. If people say, hey, I want my £100 that I donated to you 4 years ago because you said, it was an inclusive site. Now it's not an inclusive site. Give me my money. I'll be like, yo, do the right thing. You should give that person their money back. But all this, outrage, I'm like, mate, trans women this isn't hurting trans women. Trans women have been going to gyms. And there's not been an issue. They can still go to gyms. Maybe not this one, but there's more gyms. You think the trans community, or there's enough trans women in that area of the gym that is located for there to be like this massive uproar? They're in London. They're gonna go to the Pure Gym. They're gonna go to another gym, a private gym. Like, it's gym at home. Like, it's not a big deal. People making this bigger than it actually is a bit crazy, but you know how it is in social media. You have to make everything a big deal. Everything's a big deal. And specifically when it comes to trans issues, most of the issues aren't black and white. For people saying they are black and white, I'm sorry, it's not black and white. It's not clear cut. You have to. These are real people. You have to tackle these issues with care and, you know, be respectful. But the people who are, you know, fighting the fight for trans people, who are literally, I've seen trans people saying, hey, you know, trans people don't have to be in every single space. Like, we can create our own spaces. We're comfortable in the spaces that we're already accepted in. Like, I can go to the Pure Gym and everything's fine. Like, there's no one gawking at me. That, like, the world is still spinning. Water is still water. Some people say water is wet, but I say water is still water. And this is just the latest thing. And one of the videos that I thought was an interesting take was this woman who had a vim in her chest. She was like, she was not on it. She was not fucking with her at all. Let's have a look.
I find particularly bad mind is that you waited until people gave you money and you had your business to then come out and say that you're actually transphobic. Because when people were asking whether this was a trans-inclusive space, this was obviously people asking whether they should invest their money into your business to have a safe space to exercise in. And you knew that. That's conniving and that's sneaky. You didn't open your mouth and say, yes, this is a trans-inclusive space. And especially when you've been trying to fight scammer allegations all this time, you've been trying to get this business up and running. You say, yes, there's a trans-inclusive space. And then once you actually take the people them's money and open the business, you now tell them they can't enter. That's a scam. You're a scammer. That's really nasty. Because it's very convenient that you didn't mention that this wasn't trans-inclusive before you had the business. Now that you've got the gym and now you've got the business, now you want to say, oh, actually, by the way, thanks for the money, you can't enter. And your reasoning doesn't even make sense anyway.
Yeah, it's, you know, she's got a lot of valid points, and honestly, I feel like this is a very, very unfortunate situation. It is. It's very, very unfortunate. A lot of confusion, a lot of virtue signaling from her part. She didn't really think about how it would work logistically in regards to how we enforcing this, or how am I going to make everyone feel safe? How am I going to accommodate anyone? Honestly, the best, when it comes to a situation like this as a business, the best policy is probably just not say anything and deal with it as it comes, because then you don't pigeon yourself in a hole and you're not having to fight fires and apologize, delete your post a retraction, and then an apology, and now everyone's looking at you sideways like, yo, you are some scammer. And she's got to fight those allegations. And it's unfortunate because I don't feel like she's transphobic. But everyone's entitled to opinions. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you think she's in the right, she can change her mind. You know, not every space has to be inclusive. You know, we have segregated bathrooms in a lot of places still. We have segregated places of worship. Like, you know, when it's time for females to pray at the mosque by themselves, exclusive of men, you know, you don't see the men saying, hey, like, that's just how things have been accepted in certain cultures, certain places, and certain areas. And this one, when it comes to gym and public toilets and everything around the trans issue in society, you know, we're just flipping back and forth. Like, what is right, what is fair, what is it's not black and white. It's a very sticky subject. But let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
I be kidding on my foes, even though I got it all on my own. Success sweet, yeah, it tastes like honeycomb. Dropping blood tears and even breaking bones. I'm sipping on Patron while aiming for the throne. I've been to hell and back and even